A big surprise, right? We currently do not restrict student parking at all, and so we have a lot more student spaces because Mount Holyoke has land, but the land's sort of peripheral to the campus. Compared to a big university, we really have a walking campus. And I get that, even at 8 o'clock at night, walking across the campus it doesn't look as short as we say it is, and it doesn't feel as like a walking campus, but it's really a short walk. And so we could do that. It will create a lot of heartache for a number of people who, you're at Dickinson, and we have 30 spots at Dickinson, and you're the 31st person, and you're parking in the Gorse lot. And so, we've chosen to do it first come, first serve, which is every student gets the same decal, unless you want to buy one of the really lower cost ones and park at the Equestrian Center. And then, again, first come, first serve.
Yeah.
There's a lower cost decal for the Equestrian Center.
Yeah, I was just wondering when that system came about, when people started, why that students have to pay for parking.
Students have been paying for parking since I've been here, since '92.
Has there been a reevaluation of that policy?
No, not really. I mean, there are very few campuses that don't have students paying for parking, quite frankly. And
where does the money go, though?
Yeah.
Is it for sometimes it goes to a scholarship.
Well, the money from parking tickets goes to support student scholarships. The money from the parking decals actually goes into the college's budget to help support the lots.
Okay.
It does not come to public safety. Fines and decals, I don't even see that. It's not in my budget. So, just so you know that we don't write tickets, and there's no plus to public safety here.
Right. Did the cost raise then for the maintenance of? Because I'm on the parking ticket appeals committee.
Yep.
And
we need a lot of members like this. Anybody wants to volunteer?
And it's a lot of fun. Charlene is just a hoot, and she brings really good food every time.
Yeah,
she's
good
great.
food.
Yeah, great. It's amazing. But we had a conversation about the cost of the decals because she told me that they went up from last year.
They did.
So did the maintenance, the cost of maintaining the lots go up, or she didn't know that?
Yeah, I'll tell you what I know about parking, and this is not related to Mount Holyoke. It's actually, some of this is Smith data, but I think because we just had a parking consultant in, and basically the cost to maintain one parking space in a parking lot they estimate it's about $600 a year. By the time you build it, you plow, you sweep, you line it, you put signs up there. It's very expensive, quite honestly, to maintain parking. Now, it's in dribs and drabs, and again, I'm not an expert on the numbers, but that's the number that I've heard bandied about. So it's expensive.
And Paul, my other question is, I know that at a lot of other institutions, you had already mentioned that we don't allow first-year students or underclass students at all to have vehicles on campus. And I'm wondering, you usually have to write a letter or petition to have your car on campus?
No, here, first year is up.
I'm wondering why that is the case, or if I'm not trying to attack first-year students. I'm just wondering, if you know anything, because you've been here for so long, the history of...
I've been here. My hair's getting gray.
If you know, the history
No,
of why...
Mount Holyoke's always had enough parking for students. We've had parking, the number of student decals runs any year in the time that I've been here we've had years where we've had 400 student cars to, I think the highest year we got about 900.
Ooh.
Yeah, and this year we're in about 500 to 600 right now.
It has gone down, actually.
It's gone down
last
probably
year to this year.
Probably because of the economy.
Right.
Yeah, gas, the cost of owning a car.
Yeah.
But we've had years where the Equestrian Center's full. The Gorse lot's full. I mean, everything's full. We get more, there's a certain number of cars that come in the fall semester, and then we get additional cars brought in the spring semester as seniors are starting to go job hunting and need to go out on interviews and stuff, so people bring cars back. But we've never had a limit. If we had a limit, I would want this group here to, I guess make a motion and suggest that to us. I don't think it's something public safety would do. Other questions? Yes?
Another parking question. Last year it was a disaster when you guys tried to plow doors and only left sticky notes on the front doors of the dorms around doors, letting us know that we should work hard for doing plowing. I was one of those awful people that got plowed. So I was wondering if you guys were gonna try doing something a little bit different this year, like do like a campus-wide email, like we're gonna plow this lot by this date, you need to move back a lot or move out of the lot. Or something like that?
Yeah, we probably, they're pretty tight about campus-wide emails about something like parking.
I know the answer.
Oh, do you?
It's posted on the gateways. And that's kind of what we and Charlene Fuza, who's the parking coordinator in particular, have been told to do, is she posts the announcement on the gateway. If you know what the gateway is, like when you go on the website and it says on the right, for students, for staff, for faculty, or whatever, and there's on the right-hand side, which is over here for you, there's a little kind of thing you can click on, and it's kind of like the gateway, which is like all the Mount Holyoke sort of information that's relevant as far as activities and deadlines and stuff. And she's been told that is where she should post it. We cannot send out a campus-wide email because LITS won't let us, and I'm sure there's powers that be behind that won't let us. And we cannot even send out an email to everybody who has a student parking permit, which would be like, 600 people or whatever. For whatever reason, this has not been allowed. And we have had many conversations in the office about, should we have a Facebook, page that's for parking? So, Facebook would be sending out the emails. Like, we don't have a good solution. And if you have a good solution that would get us out of having to send a Mount Holyoke email through LITS, then we should, collect those things. You could be on the Parking Appeals Committee, and that would be a great place to talk about it.
Why can't they send an email that makes no sense?
I think it's these. The big list campus-wide are very, very restricted. I suspect if we took the time, we could create a 600 or 700.
No, I've been told. Charlie
can't
told
do
me
that?
that they told
Okay.
her she can't do that. Yeah,
I don't
we can
know.
make a list.
I don't have a good answer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just my advice for when it happens next year. If you could just give us a heads up, and we'll tell everyone here.
Perfect.
And then they can go and they can talk to
We'll
situations.
tell
How are
Charlotte.
we to
With
give
at
you a
least
heads up?
a week.
But we can't. We don't have a week's notice because sometimes it has to do with the weather.
If you contacted me, the way that the loophole that we could do is I could contact all the other HPs
Okay.
and
Okay.
we could just
You
disseminate.
should talk to Charlene about
Can you
it.
talk to Charlotte?
Yeah, I'll talk to her.
Yeah.
We have talked. We have struggled about this. Can we, how to get the emails out? So that'd be great. We'll get to you and you'll get it out. That's fantastic.
South Rockefeller.
B.
B.
And that way when you send it out to the entire campus, it would just be sending to people that have said they want to use email and have
Well, that would be my idea about having Facebook do it, because we are not, for whatever reason, and this again, it's politics at Mount Holyoke that I don't understand. Now at Hampshire, which is a very much smaller campus, anybody can send anything out in the Daily Digest to anybody, including like you have an iPod you're trying to sell, and you can send that to everybody. And it's half. I mean, Mount Holyoke is twice as big, and so they just have put some restrictions on it. So.
But I think we are hearing that that's an issue.
It is an issue. So thank you. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up.
I'm really confused because I got an email last year that said
You might have
everyone.
one from your hall president, because I know we told people to. I remember last year we told Res Life to try and tell their.
Yeah.
We found out. I don't remember who told us, but we found out they were going to do this, so we were like, okay, we're going to try and tell Res Life people to email people in their dorms, and people were sending out emails to try and get the word out. But as Brittany said, I don't think they sent out.
What the powers that be in communication want is that when you open up your computer, you go to the student gateway on the web page, and that you read that every time. You don't know what I'm talking about, do you? No. See, this is the problem. We try to tell communications this, and they don't get it. So.
There used to be a thing called on Pine, Mount Holyoke Announce, where people used to list all the announcements, and that's migrated over to the gateways, and so I think that's what we have to use.
Next time you go to the Mount Holyoke homepage, look on the right-hand column, and there's some little things you can click on that says for staff and faculty, for students, for parents, for visitors, whatever. Click on the one that says for students, and then you are at the gateway, and in the middle there's all these announcements, which you also see in other places. So that's where they want you to go. How you're supposed to know that, I do not know. We are very frustrated as well. So,
Renee gave us that on the entire email. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I remember getting is from Renee Davis.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we try to let the dean's office know and Res Life know